What's up you guys? So Avatar is the next movie that I am reviewing. I got to see this a few days ago and it was great as always. I don't think it's as good as the first two. The first one was a masterpiece, the second one was absolutely stunning, and so is this one. This one is very stunning as well, and the story of the second one was amazing, but this Fire and Ash almost feels like a repetitive story of The Way of Water, but finding out that James Cameron intended both of them to be a one story makes more sense. However, if we are to critique this movie as a movie that is its own movie in its own right within this universe, it does feel a little repetitive in terms of the story arcs and what the messaging is from the second movie, and that's the only gripe that I have with this. Otherwise, it's perfect. I think that he does an amazing job with the visuals. They work so perfectly. James Cameron literally is a master at work when he comes to this. The only problem I have with watching this is that you cannot really watch Avatar at home. I mean, you can, but it's a movie that's made for the cinema in terms of how grand it is. And unfortunately, he is very, very adamant that it's a 3D movie. I have astigmatism, and with my astigmatism, it's very, very difficult for me to be focusing on my eyes, to be focusing on the 3D effects with the glasses during a 3.5, almost 4-hour movie, and it does hurt and it gives me a headache, which gives me a slightly less enjoyable experience, and that's my gripe with his other movie as well. So that also knocks down points just because the formatting is so painful for me and it gives me a really bad headache. Other than that, everything was amazing. The performances are great as usual. I thought I'd come in loving the fire people, but they are truly evil. So, or at least even their backstory doesn't really show that there's much redemption, but who knows, we'll see what part 4 will have. I'm sure that this movie will make its billions and hopefully greenlight the next and final 2 parts that James Cameron wants to make. It is a solid 4 out of 5. I think that the music, the visuals, everything about this is beautiful. Again, because it's repetitive and because it's just painful to watch physically for me, I just don't have the best time with watching it. However, it's still beautiful, it's still amazing, and it's always amazing to watch an Avatar film and to finish off this universe. Well, it's not finished yet. I'm hoping that they still get to make the next 2 parts. I know that this is a 5-movie arc that James has in his mind, so I'm hopeful for that. But yeah, it's a great time to watch, especially if you're a fan of Avatar 1 and Avatar 2. It's a great thing to continue with the story and just enjoy it. There are things that they could have taken out that felt that they were repetitive, and it's not about the repetitive stories and the messaging. It's just we get it. The audience has definitely seen this in the last 2 years. Anyone who's coming to watch this has seen the first 2, or at least the last one, and there are things in this movie that they did that almost was like a reminder of what was happening in the second one that you just didn't need, and kind of prolonged the story, to me at least. It's also quite religious in the way that it has multiple religious elements in this, whether it's biblical or Islamic or any other religious versions of the stories that were shown. I don't know if you like it or not, or that representation is something that you can appreciate and be like, oh wow, this is interesting. That might be a drawback for some, but it's also very interesting to see how he's adapted it into this universe and into this new world. Yeah, it's a 4 out of 5 for me, but it's still an amazing movie and an amazing addition to the Avatar universe. It's a very fun time, and for those who are fans, I'm sure you might enjoy it even more. And for those who are fans of 3D, yeah, have at it. It's almost a 4-hour behemoth, so you can have all the 3D fun that you would like. For me, it was just painful, and maybe it's just me getting old, or it could be my astigmatism, or there could be just me. It could also just be me that can't handle 3D. But yes, that will always be a gripe, and I don't know if it's a fair thing for me to knock half a star out for it, because it was a gripe for me when I watched it for The Way of Water. But yeah, let me know what you think of this, and I'm excited to see what everyone else thinks. And yeah, till next time, guys.